Regret means to feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done, or especially a loss or a missed opportunity. Well, I want to show you how to put an end to regret. Hey, I'm Terry Savelle Foy, your cheerleader of dreams. Thanks for joining me. I read a national survey about the regrets of a typical American. Do you want to hear these? There were 13 common sources for regret. Here's what they were. Romance, like a romantic regret. You know what I mean. Family, family regrets. Education regrets, like they wish they would have kept going or not spent so much money on college because they didn't need it, whatever. Career regrets, a lot of those. Financial regrets, I think we can all relate to that one. Parenting regrets, some of them were wishing they'd had kids when they were younger, but then they kept waiting and then it was too late. Health regrets, we all know about those. Friend regrets, one was just other, I don't know what that means. Spirituality, maybe feeling like you wish you'd been closer to the Lord or you'd spent more time with God. Community regrets, leisure regrets, and self-regrets. Well, Von Bell, this guy named Von Bell at MindHack said, there are two ways people frame their regrets. He said the things they did that they wish they hadn't, and the things they wish they had done but didn't. So let me talk about regret. Regret means to feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done, or especially a loss or a missed opportunity. Well, I want to show you how to put an end to regret. I heard Jesse Itzler say that there are three types of regrets. Number one, things you can't change. Number two, things you can fix. And number three, things you can prevent. So let's talk about this real quick. The first regret being things you can't change. In other words, you did it. You can't take it back. You can't delete it or pretend it never happened. It did happen. Maybe you truly hurt someone. You betrayed them. You hurt them in a strong way. Well, you can't erase it. Maybe you made a huge mistake. Maybe the consequences were pretty bad. You lost your spouse over it. The family split up. You filed bankruptcy. You lost a job. You made a poor decision that cost a lot of money and a lot of time. Well, what you can do is choose to forgive yourself and receive God's forgiveness and use it as a life lesson. To be honest, I've had a harder time doing this than forgiving others. I think, when we let our own selves down, sometimes it's harder to just forgive and move on. Well, you may have heard that phrase, the dreams of the future have no place for the regrets of the past. So if you want to move on with God's plan for your life, you have to let it go. In fact, if you relate to what I'm saying right now, give me a thumbs up because I want to know I'm not alone in this. But here's the thing, it's done. Maybe you screwed up, you blew it, you made a big mistake. And trust me, I've been there many times. Now what? You learn from it. You use it as a lesson to prepare you for today. You let the pain of it be a reminder that you don't ever want to go back to that place. You don't want to repeat this mistake again. In fact, before I could enjoy the life, the dreams I'm living today, I had to put an end to my regrets of the past in a very practical way. It couldn't be just someone telling me, get over it. Well, I want to encourage you to do the same thing. In fact, what I did was, first of all, I wrote it down. I felt like the Lord was actually leading me to do this, to write down every regret, every bad decision in my life, the big ones. And I wasn't sure if I was really hearing the voice of God or not, or if it was just my own head talking, but I thought, hey, what have I got to lose? I wanted freedom from anything that was keeping me back from being all that God wanted me to be. So I got out a sheet of paper and I just wrote down anything, any memory that came up in my mind right then that brought feelings of regret and shame. I wrote it down. And I just sat there and I thought about it. And I was shocked at how many memories surfaced instantly. It wasn't like I was trying to, squint really hard and think back. No, these came quickly. And I was shocked at how many pieces of paper I actually ended up filling up. Well, I listed the event, the memory, the person's name if there was a person involved, what I could remember about it. I wrote it all. At the very top, I wrote, I forgive myself for, and I just began listing them. Now, this is such a freeing exercise. Just set time aside between you and God. Get out a sheet of paper, and every single memory that surfaces in your mind, write it down. It's there for a reason. Even if you think, I don't care about that, that was so long ago, I'm over that. If it comes up in your mind, go ahead and write it down. Get it out into the open. And keep in mind, this is not for anyone to see but you and God. Don't let anyone see it, and don't be afraid to write it for fear that someone will see it, because listen to my next step. Number 2 is speak it out loud. See, when you're alone with God right there in your house, your apartment, your bedroom, your car, wherever you need to go to be alone, just lift this stack of paper up before God, the loving, forgiving God, and pray out loud. Just say, Father, in the name of Jesus, I am lifting this junk up before you today, and I am asking you for the same faith that Jesus had when he forgave. And you don't have to remember all this, but you can just say, I'm declaring today that this is a defining moment in my life of releasing my past and embracing my future. And just start saying, Lord, I choose by faith to forgive myself for this and this and this, and just read them out loud. Here's an important third step. Are you ready for this? Rip it up. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes, to everything there is a season, a time to keep and a time to throw away. The time has come for you to throw it away, out of your life, out of your sight, out of your mind. I did this very thing. I heard the Lord say, now rip it up, as if you are ripping it out of your heart, out of your mind, out of your life once and for all, never to be put back together again. In fact, I ripped it up in tiny little pieces because I never wanted to put it back together. So, in fact, I cried as I was ripping that stack of memories little by little into tiny pieces and then just threw them in the trash. And I remember I received an email from a sweet lady in England who heard this message on YouTube, one of our podcasts years ago. And she said she did this very thing after hearing me, but she said, I took it a step further. I burned it. Do what you need to do, right? To destroy the evidence of your past. It's gone. It's time to throw it away. Robert Kriegel said the only way to move into the future is to let go of the past. Now, the next two will be pretty quick. The second regret is things you can fix. In other words, you can apologize. You can ask for forgiveness. You can make things right. If there's a situation that needs to be resolved, resolve it before it's too late. If you can make it right, make it right. Don't go to the grave with unresolved issues and regrets in your heart. If you can fix it, do it within 24 hours. They say, when you get inspired to do something, if you don't do something about it within 24 hours, chances are you never will. So if you regret things like not finishing school, go back to school. Go online tonight and start researching. If you regret the way a relationship ended, apologize. Call them, text them, ask to meet with them. If you regret not ever saving money, start today, even if it's $1. Do something. So if you can fix it, fix it. And then the third regret is things you can prevent. In other words, if you can prevent waking up tomorrow or next week or next year without regret, then do it. That could be anything from not sleeping with someone that you aren't married to. You know it's going to lead to regret. You know you're going to wish you hadn't done it. Tomorrow always comes. How will you feel tomorrow after you've given in to that temptation today? You can prevent regret. Just don't do it. That could be regretting not calling an elderly grandparent or parent. You know their time is short, and each day is another day they don't have left. Don't regret that you never called them. I just recently had a dear friend who I loved and respected so much. He just recently passed away just like that. And so many times I would think about texting them, or it would be 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm at the gym, or 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to bed, and I would think, this is a horrible time to write them, so I'd put it off another day, another week, time just kept going by. 2 weeks ago, I remembered and I thought, do it. So I wrote this long text about how much I truly appreciate them in my life. Well, just a couple weeks ago, he was at the lake with his family, had a heart attack out of nowhere, and instantly went to be with Jesus. Instantly passed away. What did I do? I instantly read our text to each other 2 weeks prior. Regret that you can prevent could mean regretting taking that drink because you know from past experience what it leads to every time. If you can prevent regret, don't take the drink. Don't go to the club. Don't answer the message. Don't get in the car. Don't make regrets. It could be dreams you still need to achieve. You can still get your degree and begin teaching. You can still make plans to go on that dream trip. You can start writing your book today. I don't care what age you are, as long as you have a heartbeat, you have a purpose. So don't make regrets. And someone said in closing, I don't regret the things I've done. I just regret the things I didn't do when I had the chance. So determine today, no more regrets. No looking back. Keep moving forward. In fact, I want to help you today. This week, I am giving you a chapter from my book, Make Your Dreams Bigger Than Your Memories, absolutely free. Now, this chapter is all based around when I let go of my past and realized my calling is calling. Well, it's the same with you. You're going to learn how you can go from being insecure, ashamed, stuck in the past, to living your dreams. Now, all you got to do to get this free chapter is click the link in the description or go to terry.com/chapter. And I want to say real quick, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I want to keep you motivated to live your dreams.